What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm joined by the one, the only,
Gershwin.
and today we're back to answer more questions from you guys, the audience, the commenters, in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. This is what Brian B. has done. He asks, if Abaddon didn't throw a Blackstone fortress at Cadia, would the Imperium have won? Yes.
Yeah, it's heavily implied that that was like the last resort type thing. You've got a ton of Imperial forces on there. You've got the Inquisition, the Sisters of Battle, Saint Celestine, the Black Templars.
My mom.
Yeah, my mom's mom, Bridget B. Who else was there? Seppiyin.
Speaking. Everybody was there, and
Yeah.
it seems like the tables had definitely turned against Chaos. I think even wasn't one of the Primarchs or the Demon Primarchs was like kicked out too? No, wasn't it Mortarion? Or no, he did something else. Never mind. But yeah, so close to victory, and then Abaddon just decided to be like, nope.
Right.
I mean, he lost the Blackstone in the process.
Yeah, I don't know. Seeing how strong the Blackstone Fortress, like in general, are, I don't think it was a good idea for him to just lob it into this planet, destroy it. I don't know. If it was me, I would have played it safe and backed out.
Well, no, because he had been doing that every single other Black Crusade.
Yeah, like,
they had
was,
Black Fortress.
Yeah, this was the culmination of it all.
Yeah, and then also the result of that was the Cicatrice Maledictum.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, like, Chaos would not be as powerful as it is right now.
Split the galaxy in half. Really messed up anything that was in line of that cicatrix.
Yeah.
La cicatrice, the scar of malice. But yeah, it's I don't know, because you have like the Eye of Terror that just turns into a line.
Yep.
I guess a scar is better than an eye.
Yeah. Next question comes from Jonah Colombo. 10,000 orcs land in Washington, D.C. Do we, the U.S., stand a chance? What about the whole world? Not a chance.
Our weapons, like, they can't... I don't even know if they could pierce orc hide.
Yeah.
You'd really have to hit them with something, like, hard.
Even if you start killing all these orcs, guess what
Spores.
happens? Yeah. So then you got squiggly beasts, now you have fungus everywhere, and it's the entire planet that's just going to get wrecked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It literally would be like fighting off a zombie horde, but worse, yeah.
Because zombies are kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm. Now, orcs are too, but I mean, it depends on what war boss is leading them.
Also, what I mean is like not as aggressive. I think zombies, like, they're aggressive, but then you can, as a human, you can still kind of like maneuver your way around them. Not orcs. They're faster, stronger, sexier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And their toughness is now going to become a 5.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to enjoy playing orcs in this new world. I'm going to wreck. As if I wasn't already.
Right, he's already winning every game with them. This one's by Angel Amaro. What's the sandwich that you guys order from Portillo's? I've never been, but there's one down the street from me. And all I remember is that Gersh likes it wet, whereas the Sound Alchemist prefers it dry.
You don't know what sandwich is it? And you live in... it's an Italian beef.
Yeah. Again, my preference is dry, but get cheese fries and then put the cheese on top of it.
I didn't know about that. When I saw the Sound Alchemist do that, I was like, oh, damn. Revolutionized the way I eat Italian beefs.
But now your beef is wet and cheesy.
That's good, though. It makes my hands super, like, nasty and greasy. What you need to do... Oh, just that. What you just said. I was going to say, like, now I go to other places... and yeah, Italian beefs are not the same.
Yeah. Give it a shot. Just order 2 Italian beefs, 1 wet, 1 dry, and see which one you like.
Yeah.
If you like wet bread, I don't know what to say.
If you like flavorful sandwiches, then yes. There's a new place, there's like a hoagie place by my house now. And this morning I got just one of the regular hoagies, and it was like drenched in oils and just so good. My mouth is watering. I want another one.
It's like so wet you eat it with a spoon as a soup.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
They give you a bowl. They don't even wrap it up. They just put it in a bowl.
It's like, here's whatever this is.
Have you ever had a capirotada?
I don't like that.
I don't either. But that's because it has milk, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking about how like it is basically just a soup. Shouldn't be, but
Right.
yeah.
Like tres leches.
Yeah.
That's basically a cake, but with milk in it.
Yep. 3 types of milks. Question comes from 702 Battleborn. Who would you rather have for your honey dip? Eldar or Dark Eldar, and why? Yo, OMS, thanks for the vids. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching and commenting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Also, what do you mean by honey dip?
You know, you dip the honeys.
Oh, Eldar or Dark Eldar?
I'll say Eldar because pain hurts.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever been into like that goth phase or whatever. Like if a girl was like, "Oh, I'm goth," or like I'm moody.
Moody?
Yeah.
It's like, here, put some guy liner on.
Yeah.
Straighten your hair. Roar XD.
Enjoy life. Don't act like the entire world is against you. The world doesn't care.
That's true.
Next question.
This one's by Zappy Creed. Have there ever been a time that orcs have shown mercy, either because the opponent was too weak to fight, so they let it live like a baby? I mean, mercy has been shown often when it comes to the orcs and Yarick. There's many times where Yarick has been captured or could have died, and the orcs are like, this is a fun umi, and they let him go.
Yeah. Just like that. Mm-hmm. That's what God's goal said.
Yeah, he stuttered before he said umi.
Unknown PS. In lore, have the Tau been attacked by a significant Tyranid high fleet? I think the major fleet was the first one, which is what, Leviathan?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty major.
Yeah.
It also saved their lives.
It did. It was like a defibrillator.
Yeah.
Quick, somebody get an AED. Oh, that's a Tyranid.
It redirected the heart attack away from the Tau Empire. Mm-hmm. And by heart attack, we just mean all them space marines who were ready to destroy the Tau.
Yeah. This next one is by Fergal Monahan. He says, long-time listener, but today is my first and second time commenting. This is my favorite 40K channel, the only one I listen to daily. And yes, better than Voldemort. Voldemort's pretty good. Great job, guys. The hard work comes across, and please keep it up. My question, however, is, do you, most likely Gersh, have any tips for specific units, abilities, or tactics for a brutally cunning orc army that first and foremost is sneaky and stealthy? And if no more points to use on that second priority, would be speed or a fast counterattack to take advantage of when stealth units reveal themselves and start tying up the enemy. I'm thinking of a purple and red paint job would be beneficial. In the Dawn of War games, I would variously use commandos with the commando war boss, tank busters, a teleporting Big Mech, squad of knobs, rocket boys with jump packs, and everything else piled into a war truck to keep up. I have no recent experience with the tabletop units and their abilities, though, so I am clueless there. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would love to play commandos, too. Like, I bought Snickrot, I think his name is, and he has his special boys and everything. I think you have a, what do you do? What is a stratagem that allows you to do, like, special things with his specific guys? But unfortunately, I don't think it's very competitive, not in the way that like Speed Freaks or even Bad Moons are. Surprisingly, orcs are good shooters and they're really, really fast. So that's like, to build a list, you either want to do a Speed Freak list or a Bad Moons list. If you really, really want to do a Bad Moons or Blood Axe, and you're going to be playing with like friends and stuff like that, so like winning isn't really like the main thing. It's really just about having fun and trying to kill as many things as you can. Then what I would recommend is throwing out some death copters along with your commandos, and then also big mobs of boys, because they're going to be really hard to kill. So it's going to guarantee that you do get that drop on that second turn for that counterattack.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty solid advice. And now's the best time to jump into playing orcs. Should he add any of the new beast snaggers to his armies?
I'm not sure because like the rules aren't really like for sneakiness. If anything, they just seem like their speed and durability, which, yeah, like I said, it would be good. Next question comes. This isn't a question, but Bull Scrap Press EFF. You are. Tequila isn't an American invention. It's made in a region of Mexico from agave. Paraphrased. Yeah, I said that. And then you say, guess what? Mexico is part of America. Just like Canada land, Guatemala, Brazil. And then you list all the... That's what I said like right afterwards. So you are purposefully not putting my last bit so that you can just say that. Asshole. But yes. Next question.
This one is by Virgo Monahan once again. So this is the second comment that he did. He says, am I not in the right in thinking that predators have already been copied into 40K in the form of the Kroot? They're hunters, they got dreadlocks, funny mouths. The Necrons are the Terminators, time-traveling killer robots, and the Tyranids are aliens. So aliens versus predator is already possible with Tyranids versus Kroots.
Yeah.
Yeah, in its simplest form, you're 100% correct. The only thing that's different, though, is Kroot aren't as technologically advanced as the predators. The Kroot do evolve by eating the flesh of like certain things and gaining certain traits. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities when it comes to like science fiction because they share the same genre. One's just more grim dark than the other.
This next question comes from, this isn't a question, but it's just a funny comment. Xenophobic. Lengua and cabeza for this chino loco.
Is that sexual?
Maybe. My nipples got hard when I read that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever had cabeza, or sometimes referred to as lechon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it lechon or is that butt? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had head.
Oh.
No, but yeah, that's what cabeza is. And it's still the cow, right?
It's like mostly cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, don't they also eat pig head, too?
They probably do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When my parents make the whole cow head, it's crazy. It's like you walk into the kitchen, there's just like a whole cow head there. Food is amazing, though.
You eat the eyes, too?
I have not, no. I am too squeamish for that, maybe. Sesos, that's pretty good, too.
These words, man, where do they come from?
Making my mouth water.
Oh.
Next question. Yeah.
You got one?
Bob Smith. Can a navigator see the Webway tunnels running through the warp and follow it to an opening? No, not really. The Webway is pretty well protected. It's just like a tunnel. So if anything, like... Yeah, no, they can't. I can't really, like, think of something visual because, like, we can see roads, we can see bushes, we can see, like, everything here. Mm-hmm. So I guess it would be, like, seeing in the third dimension. We can't. We can't even visualize it, honestly.
But people can still do all these mathematical equations to prove that it exists.
It exists, yeah.
Like, what? How does a squared plus b squared equal c squared?
Orcs. Orc, you know what?
James Carden. Recently, somebody mentioned aquatic Nurgle demons, and it made me wonder, how does each Chaos God deal with unique terrain? Obviously, Zeech has a love for flying units, but who else would? I imagine maybe some burrower units like Bloodthirsters with pickaxes for corn, and a giant worm-eating dirt thing for Nurgle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. If you can think it, there's probably some variation of demon that could do it. It may not be a demon that you could play on the tabletop, but there's probably one that exists.
Yeah, and then for your example with the air, most flyers exist for all those factions. Mm-hmm. So bot flies or plague flies.
I think they're called plague flies.
Yeah, or the drones too and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the water one is kind of interesting for corn because corn is supposed to be able to have like blood and fire and stuff like that. So I wonder how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Bubbles.
But it's the warp, so there's still probably fire burning in the water.
Yeah, magma then.
Like if you get like a pink horror fighting underwater, when you kill a pink horror, it turns into 2 blue horrors. And when you kill a blue horror, it turns into brimstone horrors, which are literal sentient flames.
Oh, damn. That'd be cool. Next question.
This one's by the big one. Is gold still considered valuable in the 41st millennium?
Probably.
Well, isn't the whole Imperial Palace like gold, and like everything's made out of gold, like gold statues and gold bridges?
Yeah, the armor of the Adeptus Custodes is also gold. Because you have to remember that gold is, I think, a really good conductor. So there's probably like resource benefits to it, not just like a hold of value.
Which I always wondered, like when you go to orchestras and symphonies, I always wondered why the conductor wasn't made of gold. Because then he'd be really good, right?
Yeah, he'd be the best. Like no one ever was.
To find them was my cause.
It's kind of weird that when you go to those type of orchestras, you're always just staring at the conductor's ass. Next question.
This one is by...
Who? That's a weird username.
By Just Kano. What would the Imperium be like if Guilliman never stopped being the acting Lord Commander? Well, I mean, it's not like he stopped. He still has that title. He's just preoccupied with like fighting chaos and leading the armies of man.
Yeah, I think the soul system would probably, or the soul segmentum would probably be a little bit more fortified. I think he would have focused on that. Also, the Ultima Segmentum would be more pacified. But the Ultima Segmentum is huge.
Yeah.
It's like way bigger than I feel like 2 of the other ones combined.
Right. And the thing is, like, yes, he's a Primarch. Yes, he can do all these crazy things. But he's just one dude. Like, the Imperium is vast, huge, massive. And to, like, be able to get all this information, know what tactically the best, point of advice is, where to send his troops, what to do, that's a lot to command. And it's like you see people struggling to just command a single nation or run a city. Now imagine doing that on a freaking galaxy-wide level.
Yeah. He makes me think of like the War Masters that existed during when he was gone. So like, what's his name? Slido. And like the other one...
Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco, yeah. So all those, they would just get the blessings of the High Lords and then they're off. And I feel like that's what Guilliman would have done regardless. What he's doing now.
Well, he's not even asking for the blessing of the High Lord. He just kind of does.
Yeah, he's like, I spoke to my father, and he said...
Yeah, I spoke to your manager.
Yeah.
And he said, it's my turn to play the Super Nintendo.
Next question.
This one's by... Well, we already did that one.
I'm all lost, too. The Predator one we did.
Oh, I got one from Nikoe. Is it possible that in the 42nd millennium, for even more Psychers to come together and create another Emperor, but even more powerful?
No, I think the Shamans did their thing when the warp was at like the perfect point. At this point, warp energies and the Psychic Awakening would probably like mess things up.
Yeah, the warp is too turbulent now for these things to come. I wonder what would happen if they tried to recreate that. Like, not just getting shamans, but just like, oh, here's a Psyker, there's a Psyker. Let's do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be another Emperor, obviously.
Right.
But just to see what chaotic amalgamation is birthed from that would be pretty cool.
A Chaos Spawn.
Probably.
In the middle of Terra.
Yeah.
It's like, give me all your lengua and cabeza.
Oh, you're a Slaneshi Chaos Spawn. And he's got a second question. He says, also, is it possible for the Eldar or other psychic races, such as the Nikasar, to do the same thing? So basically, other psychic Xenoses to get their psychic Xenos and make them into a Xeno Emperor.
Oh,
I don't think so, because I think the Eldar would have done it already.
Yeah, that's true.
Eldrad was kind of doing that to resurrect the god of death or rebirth, Iniad. But he was going about it in like a quicker way.
Yeah.
Because the Iniad was already going to be birthed, but he's like, he needs to come here now. And that's why he was doing all these things with like moons and planets and stuff.
And then GW was like, forget about it.
Yeah.
Put it on the shelf.
Right.
It's a project.
Yeah. The most strongest, probably the second strongest character besides Magnus is dead because of this new Chaos God. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Or not Chaos God, but Eldar God.
It's like sales weren't there. Sorry, guys.
We did this whole campaign. Nope, you guys didn't like it.
It's like, why? I don't know why you guys didn't like it. I mean, the Eldar line is awesome, and then meanwhile you got these nasty ass
Like-
what is it, spiders and the warp dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tis.
Yeah.
Those are the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. As always, this has been
Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.